we're actually starting a little bit early tonight because we've got a lot of quests to go through. We've actually just finished up the holiday event, as you can see by my dancing Elizan. Go Theron, go!
Twinkle hooves.
Indeed. He is the Saint Namia's little helper.
You're not little.
I don't know, standing next to the Saint of Nemea, I might be considered little. He's rather an opposing individual. Give me just 1 second. And I'm not gonna send out notices. People can figure out we're on or not. Are we ready to continue our questing?
Maybe? Do I have to be?
Oh dear God. I thought that's who that was. The Ellison standing behind you. She made a comment about, come out, you curious beast. She's the one quest giver who's connected to the new Eorzean Geographic.
Okay.
And the leatherworking quest set. Miss Self-Important Professor herself, who thinks we're just assistant number 423.
Yes.
Yeah, her. Haven't seen Alpha this year, which kind of saddens me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I suppose I should get out of the Starlight suit and get ready for questing, shouldn't I?
Depends. How warm is it?
I don't think it's quite warm enough.
Oh, in that case, you'd better change.
Yeah, it gets kind of cold where we're going.
Yes.
And the first thing I'm going to do is pop a priority aetheryte pass, please and thank you. And then it's off to Camp Broken Glass. Woohoo! Please excuse the banging in the background. They're playing with one of the new toys they got for Christmas, which was a high-end coffee grinder.
Ah!
Nice.
So not the sounds of rubber axes going thwack.
Yeah. Oh
man!
Oh, that.
Hey Foxfire, hey Octi.
That gift went off a lot better than I ever imagined. Oh my gosh. We ended up getting Dusty Cat a backyard game of axe throwing, and yeah, it went over well. It was like, I'm going to put this out in the garage right now, or I'm going to be playing with it all night. There's a few times he's like, no, Tessa, you can't stay there. You're going to get clocked on the head by a rubber axe.
Yes.
Tessa's like, you have food? She was being a good doggo. A very needy doggo, but a good doggo. Okay. Are we ready for this?
Maybe.
Julius. He has a name.
Said your farewells, have you?
Magni?
The lowly task of keeping watching over provisions should not normally befit the sun. But these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by rights theirs.
You tell them, Magni. Keep up the good work. Alphino?
Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I shall not squander this opportunity.
I know. This won't bring back Lucinia or her sister. Taking the same risks, making the same mistakes. It's possible, but better to try than to give up. every time. You got that, Alice. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with our food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat, reward him for his boldness.
Julius per Norbanus. It is unusual for one so young to achieve such a high rank. Very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the First Legion, which has a particularly fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you to approach them with caution. They are resilient in the face of hardship. You as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard.
You bet I will, Arun. I worry they were not in the best state of mind to volunteer for this undertaking. But what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself as well, I trust.
Best.
All right, Lucia, let's do this. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence over all else. Remember this. Thancred, in particular, would be worried sick if you'd gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you.
Thancred, you say?
Thancred would come after us.
Yes.
Hello, Opti.
I
Hello,
won't
Foxfire.
be surprised if he sneaks after us.
I hope you two have had a wonderful Christmas day. Thank you very much for coming and joining us, which unfortunately is shaping up to be something of a another bitter pill and tearjerker, so brace yourselves.
Are you and the children ready?
Yes, we are.
I will explain the route once we are outside your camp.
Fair enough.
If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures.
I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. And we're off this way. Does that, no following, discount chocobos?
Or Gala kittens?
Or dragonettes? Alice? Where do you think their headquarters are? I assume there are a few others besides him and his commander he mentioned.
We will do only as instructed. After all, this is what we've been striving for ever since we arrived. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead. I want you where I can see you.
We do have names, you know. I'm Alice and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Theron and Rylea.
Rylea, Theron. Where have I heard that before? No matter. Alphino and Alice will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. Wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're going to run, not saunter, run toward the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Ready to make a dash for the station? Yes.
Fine, I'll put my spear away.
Over that hill, right?
Oh, look, a hunt target. And they're running right towards it.
Yeah, I know. This must be the road you mentioned. If we follow this, we should it should lead to the station.
You're kind of ahead of me.
Not the easiest surface to run on. We better not draw attention.
Yeah, you're a little ahead of me.
Apollo. That's the station, I presume? Yeah.
Trying to avoid the Hopollet. Uh-oh. Keep running.
As long as they keep going, it's fine. Good, he just turned off. Alice?
Just a second. Alice? We're here, I think.
Nothing like the ones in Thanalan.
Yeah, well, it is... Yeah.
This is it. The first stop, that is.
You're a little ahead of me.
Still?
Still. Okay.
Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No. We're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on.
Alice?
A meme image.
Hmm?
That tends to show up on the Wargaming channels. You know, the various captcha, click on all the things that...
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically this, gridded thing of this snowy wooded landscape. Click on all the squares that contain finished snipers.
Good luck with that one.
Yes.
I wonder what sort of conditions Julius and his comrades are living in. They've any sense they'd have picked somewhere like the Victor Spoils to take shelter.
We're getting closer to the Imperial Palace, if one can still call it that. It truly is a terrifying sight to behold.
Oh, thank you very much for the cheer, Bobby.
Mm-hmm. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They will tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off. Understood?
Understood.
Oh, and he's even giving me new boots. And a level.
Grats! You're actually ahead of me.
Now just remember, this is my only 83, and I don't have another 82.
Okay, Alice's the same.
I'll be forced out of it later. Like when I turn this in.
Yeah, we can always do some fate grinding if need be.
Well, I figure if we do end up fighting anything on the way, I'll at least get a little XP on it.
Gotcha.
The last bastion. Julius knows only too well that danger lurks around every corner. But does danger lurk in the dragon's den?
Ow! Keep going. We'll explain that one later. That's a bit of an inside joke.
Yes,
A very,
yes it
very
is.
bad inside joke.
Hey, Baron.
From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen. Aye, they spare their own but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, we'll not take that chance. That said, let us proceed. Oh my god, it's turned into a proper escort quest.
Not quite, but I'm definitely readying my spear. Sorry. Okay, so stay to the left of the railroad, but follow the tracks.
I'm not switching over to the left until I'm past that Apollo.
There's a Happolyte on the other side, but I don't think there's any trains coming.
Yeah, but this is the left. And speaking of trains...
Exactly. I don't think there's
Oh.
Is he a... Oh.
And
Yeah,
we'll
we
wait
would
for
have
this
gone
to
right
clear.
past that. Might want to wait for
Yeah.
the other side to finish.
Yep.
Though I'm surprised. I bet she's cold. Considering
Sif?
that the white mage.
Maki.
Because-
Yeah, that is an outfit designed for tropical climate.
Just a little. Remember, I don't see other player names.
Right. That reminds me. Do a little desynthesis while I'm here.
What is she doing? I think she's waiting for us.
Maybe? Hold on a moment.
There we go. Alice? God damn it, we're perfectly capable of holding our own. I know, Alice. I've got trigger fingers. You should know that by now.
We must stay alert. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered, as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They are beyond saving. Those who fought differently and tried to reason with them, or thought differently and tried to reason with them, were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving.
But it's actually a really effective treatment. His own propaganda is... Okay, fine. You want to die? We can do this.
Do you need something to take your anger out on?
Not even a challenge.
No. The runaway train.
There, I feel better now. Alice? I hate to watch you bear the burden of this alone.
This is not a heavy burden. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward.
Looks like you took care of these two on your own.
Yeah.
He truly believes there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
The surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try to convince Julius that the Tempered can be saved. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway.
Considering that you're pretty much engaging them before I get there, it's totally not my fault.
Yep.
352 yalms to the west. We'll deal with that later.
Mm-hmm.
The Emperor's Rose. No. Just no.
Yeah.
We'll avoid the Saiga as best we can.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
Okay,
Can I ask if
these
this is
guys
really
might be
avoiding-
beyond saving. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. What the heck is going on?
This is what happens when the tempering goes too far. Alice? To think they were once ordinary people.
Such a transformation is likely irreversible.
Yeah.
Likely. Look at what they have become. Would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Let's try and get a few before they get that far. Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's aether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you've seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure.
Not all of them can be cured, but we can save the ones we can. He's not listening, is he?
No. Ears stuffed full of fury.
Make it sound like he's a guardian or something. Yeah. I don't think we're salvaging this.
Well, not much.
Alisei? Even here on the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to the other cities.
Though I wish there was another way, I thank you for keeping us from harm. We're almost there. You've kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. You know, these don't seem to be the right kind of trees for this climate.
No.
This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. Now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs.
Ooh, an underground station.
Mm-hmm.
That is not helping.
No.
Theodora. Who does not wish to speak to us?
She clearly has no intention of speaking with you. Okay.
It definitely is a terminus.
No.
Hold on.
Goes through. It's not a terminal.
Edmundua.
Amanda, you.
They are not wanting to speak to us.
No.
Yeah. But it's a large enough place, it's going to be hard to keep warm. At least it's underground, so it has some sort of
Insulation.
insulation, but it's not that far underground. I had no idea they had such expansive structures built underground.
And I'm hearing the radio.
Yes, we are hearing the radio. Hello, Dusty!
Hey, Dusty.
Hey there. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations.
You're still ahead of me. Okay. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live.
Indeed. And if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guest, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander's in the locomotive, over there.
First off, touchy.
Yeah. Fate Aetherite is not responding.
Oh,
That should respond.
there we go.
Number 26. No.
Let's see, that is in the...
Tertium. Tertium is the third station along the rail network which serves the imperial capital of Gurlemald. Equipped as a dispatch yard with generators and other facilities, it was taken over and fortified by the remnants of the First Legion following the city's fall into ruination.
Here's the radio.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing keeping these people sane. And we have a Mender and Junkmonger here.
Nope.
Ooh, they won't talk with us?
No. Yeah. Hold on a moment.
LSA? He certainly looks the part.
Now comes the true test.
Imposing commander.
I will deal with you in a moment. He speaks!
Yes, he does.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, guys. I forgot it's Saturday, and this system is set up that every Saturday at a certain time, it automatically switches to the Heaven on High intro. Oopsie!
If I'd realized it was going to automatically do it, I might have said something.
Yeah, I totally forgot because I'm so used to just doing it automatically. It's like out of sight, out of mind. Um, sorry guys. But it's taken care of. We're good. Alfie?
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. It was only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varus understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald?
Because it wasn't unity and prosperity.
Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? that our ideals and virtues differ, that we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not. Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
Of course you would.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire.
Yeah. I agree with that one. Damn it, Harchafon.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
I knew it did poorly, but, well, at least we aren't dead and they aren't trying to kill themselves, so, winning?
So far, so good.
Alice?
Something slightly warmer.
I have to remind myself not to touch it, even if it starts to itch. I'd rather not set it off by accident. Anyway, enough of that. Let's learn what we can from the refugees.
Will take more than a trifle such as this to deter us.
Yes, I know.
Compared to what Gurlemald's people have suffered in recent days, these collars are a minor inconvenience.
And let's be honest, you two are made of sterner stuff.
Mm-hmm. Personae non grata. Julius has his orders, unpleasant though they may be. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did, and if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or is that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision? Do as you will. But remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood?
Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. I suggest you keep Eos in your pocket.
You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. You know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alice will pay the price.
Foxfire? You are not responding. You are not wrong in your supposition. Keep in mind that a lot of that rhetoric was based on ancient Roman rhetoric, which is where the terminology comes from to begin with. Oh, there's a person way in the back. Let's see if he talks with us. And these guys are very much modeled on Imperial Rome.
Ceruleum and other necessary materials are in short supply. I'm not sure how long we can last in the stores we have.
Octavia. It's you, Theron Vexta and Rylea Sarnath. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. I was ready to abandon all hope until I saw you. You, soon, very soon, will make you pay for every life you've taken.
That would be a heck of a bill.
And she's not happy with me. I don't necessarily blame her, but... Sabinianus?
So cold. Young soldiers on the verge of losing consciousness. Hold on. We've not the resources nor inclination to assist the likes of you. Be gone.
Gee.
Well, at least you're talking now.
Yeah. How about you, Junkmonger?
material stored here is the property of the First Legion. If you think we'd share it with the likes of you, you're very much mistaken.
You are very short, Elizan. Just for the record.
He's not giving out any extra height to you either.
Remember,
I
I'm
know
actually a step down from him at the moment. Just to look him in the eye.
I know who you are, so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. At the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear out. Damn. Tore the sutures. All the times. The worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for feeling weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Gilia's treachery nearly lost Lord Quintus's life. We made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back. And then night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar. Capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy. Mind intact, but body broken. Soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could, murderer.
Just for the record, that radio just saved your butt kiss. I want to see if there's anyone else to talk to. Well,
it's sparkling. This radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered.
You have a good night, Dusty.
And Dusty.
Yeah, good night.
Malice?
Good to have you along. Get out of my ear, will you? I'm exhausted and the last thing I need is you and your drivel.
Such a warm, inviting people.
Mm-hmm. No matter what may betide, I've my daughter, and that alone shall keep me from succumbing to even the darkest of nights.
I've never been this cold or this hungry in my life. While Garlemald was built on frozen waste, the city was always warm, inviting place. Now, all we once had is in ruins. Don't know why I was stumbling over that. Sorry.
Night, Baron.
Yeah, night to you too.
Good night, dear. Sleep well.
I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No.
Should I switch to White Mage?
No using magics.
Alice? So cold, and probably hadn't had a proper meal in days. If only I'd brought some food with us. But perhaps I could use a little magic. No, I mustn't. God, this is so infuriating.
How much longer are we going to be stuck down here? This is no way to live. Yeah, and you won't be living for much longer at this rate. Tell me, where does it hurt? My arm is killing me.
Poor kid.
Is there aught we may do to ease your woes?
Decimus?
I know who you are. Relay Cernath, Theron Vexna, champions of Eorzea, yes. Our orders are to give you the run of our encampment, but I have my eye on you. So what business do you have with me?
Ah, he'll actually talk with us. Tell me about yourself.
I am Decimus, Centurion of the First Legion. This is my sworn duty. It is my sworn duty to defend Gurlimald from barbarians such as you. Your very presence here is an affront to my honor.
What kind of place is this?
This is Tertium, third among the stations that encircle the city. The decommissioned carriages here now serve as the First Legion's temporary base of operations. It's also become a safe haven for those fleeing the turmoil that has befallen the capital. But scant supplies we have are distributed among civilian and soldier alike, and we strive to maintain some semblance of order in these dark times. True objective, however, is not merely to survive, but to reclaim our home. We have no time to deal with your band of savages. If you dare to interfere in our affairs, we will not hesitate to cut you down.
Did I do what kind of place is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a second.
Ready?
Quintus.
I have made my position quite clear. Do not test my patience.
Caseo.
You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Gurlians, for Gurlians. Could teleport all over the city in the blink of an eye, provided there is a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. Oh.
That's probably why they haven't frozen to death.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Think so.
Ha!
Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Your plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them?
You don't even have to ask. Okay, Flavius. Do we have any more of those warming potions? Or tinctures? That could actually work here.
Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. I know I won't last much longer. You should look into the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way.
Yeah, he's in bad shape. And he knows it.
So those you met fare no better? I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies? Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Julius first. Right, time to move up.
Ah.
Well, seen enough. Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept, some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work. We've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside, until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees, or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better.
If it's ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over.
We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change.
Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I assume?
Sure. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Talaforoi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, what stands in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions, to prepare for a combined assault on the Talaforoi.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word, and we will bring you ceruleum.
No strings attached.
I will speak with Lord Quintus.
So, did he agree to it?
No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Right then. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You are a lot more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly.
Yes, sir. Yay! I leveled! What?
And how many 82s do you have?
Right now, 1.
One more than me.
Without our healing magics, there's little we can do for these people beyond offer words of encouragement. But this way, we'll be able to offer them tangible assistance.
Although this is hardly the solution we had in mind, it will have to suffice for the time being. His perk materials. Ow. Since you may not know, that's the second story in the trilogy that starts with the Golden Compass.
Yeah, his dark materia.
Yeah, his dark materials. Can't remember what the third title is off the top of my head. Ow.
Amber Spyglass.
Yeah, that's it. I never got around to reading past the first one.
When you're
Julius
ready.
finds him.
When you're ready.
I was still recovering from that. Julius finds himself in the somewhat bizarre position of leading ambassadors of an enemy contingent on a salvage mission. We will begin our search for Ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Soleus, a perk to the northwest of this station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, you can only help people who want to be helped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to force it only makes the matter worse. Will Theodora talk to us this time? There's only so much I can do until we are able to procure more medicine. We cannot safely move the injured, and what little provisions we do have are spent keeping us and our survivors warm. And it looks like they're off this way. Oh, look, an air current. Let's see if we can get up there.
Huh.
Yeah, we'll be right with you, Julius. Give us a minute. Julius. There's no E in there.
No, I. He is also, thankfully, not orange.
Dang it, Rife! You know how many decades it's been since I've had an orange Julius? You just can't find them around here. Julius?
This is the place. I think this macaque graveyard for War Machina was once a park.
So, this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings.
Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Zos Galvus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. Time to put our quest senses to the test. Ooh. I think my quest senses are tingling.
Yeah, I think our quest senses are tingling too.
Cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Julius said. Hold on. Over here. I don't imagine there would be much need for Magitech in a park of all places. But then again, I wasn't raised in Garlemald. They may have uses for ceruleum that I've yet to consider.
Yeah, Foxfire, the main problem with that is there's not really any Dairy Queens around here, too. This place is too,
Yeah, they've
expensive
basically all
for
died.
places around. Yeah.
Julius ignores you as he stares at the water in silence, as if searching for something he knows was gone and will never return.
Oh, I see two things over
Yes.
here.
Let's start up here.
Okay.
Entry 31. Forum Soleus. It was in this square that Emperor Solus inspected his troops before embarking on his second campaign into the Far East. The Imperial legions were ultimately successful in their subjugation of the Kingdom of Dalmasca, and officials celebrated the grand victory by transforming the parade ground into a commemorative public park.
Of course they did.
Ah. You don't slide.
Yeah.
Needs to be renovated by the Pixies.
Totally. Lad would have a field day here.
The contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. On closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide.
Alice? This, whatever it appears to be, is some sort of symbolic meaning related to this park. Even though this place is named after Solus, it doesn't seem to be a statue of him. Well, at least not anymore. Maybe it was once a fountain? Or somewhere the man himself used to sit? Not that it would matter, even if we knew. But I can't help but wondering. I would vote fountain.
Right.
A fountain that runs on ceruleum?
Down below.
Nope, there's a
Map? Yeah, but also down below.
Ah.
Map of Forum Solus. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Forum Soleus. The pond, children's play areas. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum.
Ah. Shop counter.
Should be an obvious place to loot. Though rather small by Gurlian standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant's stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other devices that would be fueled by ceruleum. And now it's raining.
We can fix that. I've got a helmet on.
No, we can't. We can't fix the fact that it's raining.
Yes, but you do have an umbrella. You have
Fix the
several
fact that it's raining.
umbrellas.
Oh, it's you. Any luck?
Afraid not.
There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless.
I couldn't help but noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter?
What? Yes, I mean, no, I am... It's just... I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. Pond was heated to stop it from freezing over. Uh-huh. You were on the right track. So, like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when it was all said and done. Every time. And every time, when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch her death walking around like that. Pond was heated. With a cerulean-powered heater by chance? I suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though.
Julius, what are your thoughts on magic?
The average Garland would jump out of their skin if they saw it, but the first has a few foreign insignifieri and medici, so it doesn't scare me.
Then I take it you wouldn't mind if I employ a little now? Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, blast of earth fire should do a trick.
Leave it to me. You're not planning on going in there, are you?
Of course I am! A tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park. We have a way of warming ourselves up afterwards.
But that's insane.
So, fancy a dip?
No.
I was wondering when you'd ask.
And I'm not drinking it dry either. You.
A little friendly competition might make things interesting.
Yeah.
We're adventurers. This is what we do.
Interesting music they've changed too.
Last one to find the ceruleum tank is a rotten egg, though I dare say we'll both smell like rotten eggs when this is over.
delve into the murky water but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. Lovely.
Checking with Alice A.
Mm.
Good, it's cold. Perhaps we should have listened to Julius after all. No. We're doing this.
Same thing.
And
Right.
last but not least.
Mhm. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle.
Hello, Doodles!
You open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank.
Wow, the Guardians sure know how to use stealth technology with that cerulean tank.
Yes. However, your grand discovery comes at great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a rancid odor emanating from every ilm of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize.
Yeah, well, all in a day's work. You found it? There must be another one around here somewhere.
No freezing yourself trying to find it.
Hey, Julius.
Did you find anything? I hope you did.
One
Temperature regulator ceruleum tank. Uncovering hidden treasure is an adventurer's bread and butter, though one is not normally required to go elbow deep in ice-cold, stagnant pond water to retrieve it. Nevertheless, many would choose that over mowing down hordes of slavering bees or solving annoying puzzles.
Gee, thanks.
That's it. There's still some ceruleum left. The fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Well, he's in a better mood.
Call me an old Don because... Call me an old Don because by fire I am reborn. And my clothes are mostly dry now, too.
I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, you would be most displeased.
Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well.
Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did. Not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth. For his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. He lived well, better than many.
What was Garlemald like in those days?
Everything. It was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops were rubble, those friends dead, those memories. But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon, our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer.
I'm wondering if those troops will actually come.
I'm worried they'll get tempered as soon as they do.
There is that, too. Well, at least my clothes are finally dry. Though I could still do with a proper wash. You and me both.
Owing to the wealth of experience I've accrued in gathering firewood, I was even able to provide Julius with some basic pointers on the subject. I thought it might help to further build a rapport, and to distract him from his other concerns. No good deed. Now that the fire is burned out, Julius is ready to move on. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Automated satellite.
Alice, eh? Everything was built on an enormous scale, and with a thick, clearly cut stone, much like Amarot. Given what we know, such similarities are not a coincidence.
Yeah. The War Machina appears to be patrolling the area of its own volition. I wonder whether it is simply following its original orders, or if it now serves the Telophoroi. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of War Machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time. That time being now. Rather than prize them apart, piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the War Machina's beryllium gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Explosives is one of the few things you're not running out of. Understood. Let's get to work.
This one's
According
empty.
to the beryllium gauge, this unit's fuel tank is empty.
This one is broken.
Giving you no way to determine how much fuel its tank may hold.
I'm gonna hold. But remember where that one is.
Yeah, we've got like 2.
This one is also broken.
Right.
Fine.
His gauge is not broken, but it will be.
Come on, where's your gauge? Aw.
You hit it a little hard.
Goes deeper this direction.
Yeah.
There's satellite.
Here's a couple more.
Still broken.
Empty. Don't think so. And it passed outside.
Well, I'm trying to get around to the edge, and it's just not happening. So we might have to do something about the broken ones.
It's looking like they're all empty or broken.
Which would kind of make sense if they've scattered here for a while.
Yeah.
Let's try this broken one. It's being weird on its usage.
Hmm.
Completely empty. And I'll be right back. Crap.
Probably you and me both.
Meow.
Moment. Yeah. Yes.
I am sorry about that, guys. Had a small accident I needed to clean up. Oy. And of course, now Rise stepped away. Oops. So let's go scouting for some beryllium while Rai gets back. Or wait for Rai to get back. I got a feeling they're all going to be empty. Sorry, Julius, I need some more. Calm is good. Just have to kind of go with the flow. Aha! Yeah, this Christmas, we had a good time over at Cardoin's place. Basically just a nice small meal. No, a small meal can serve a contingent as far as Cardoin's concerned.
Yes.
We have leftovers to last us for the rest of the week, hopefully. And
We might be using some of them tomorrow.
this is the one you want.
Because we've got guests. And it's going to be raining.
And that's tomorrow afternoon.
That is a short range for something I need to step back from.
Yeah. And
Still half
hopefully,
full. Or half empty.
hopefully, if everything holds out and the queues hold out, we can actually get on the buns tomorrow and do the Christmas or Starlight celebration.
Yeah.
Which is the in-game holiday just before it leaves for,
Yeah. And that'll take a fair chunk of the evening. Hopefully we'll get a little time for main story.
Yeah.
More explosives. Wait, is that what I think it is? War Machina Ceruleum Tank. Not only did this tank survive the attack that disabled the War Machina in which it was installed, it also escaped the blast of your explosives unscathed. If medals for outstanding service were awarded to inanimate objects, this champion among Ceruleum tanks would surely deserve one.
Nice.
You've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. And quest markers. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters.
I assume we're so good at this because of the blessing of light.
Something like that.
We get this tingling in the tips of our ears.
I thought that was just incipient frostbite.
No, because this happens when we're in the middle of Sungoli Desert, too.
Ah, yes, warmth. I've heard rumors of that. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I can go and see how Alice and Alphino are faring.
Okay, we wait.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
I was wondering when you'd be about.
Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Guardian lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside.
You're very good at your jobs.
When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything.
It's not good.
The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
Not only
We've
that,
searched
but this
high
is
and
really the
low,
first
but
time
no
we've
luck,
run into
I'm
the
afraid.
10th.
I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
Sorry about that, Alice.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But what about the heaters?
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard.
Something foolish.
Whether they plan to utilize it now or after they join with the 10th is another question.
Is a push really the best thing right
Will
now?
they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Euless spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Oh, that's not good.
Alphinaud and Alizé are to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Everything will be all right.
Okay,
Have faith.
I'm not alone on wanting that one.
No.
Go with them. I'll take the demands to Lucia.
Get them out of here.
All right, Lilith.
Alphinaud and Alizé will be fine, providing they do not resist.
No, I'm sorry, Galacat. I need to talk to Euless.
Meow.
Galacat, please move.
Meow.
Thank you.
Alia eacta est. You know that one?
No, I do not.
It's usually translated as the die is cast. A better translation is probably let the dice fly.
Right.
And of course, it's what Julius Caesar said when he crossed the Rubicon.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Euless has been entrusted with an unenviable task. You will accompany me back to your camp, where I'll meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to Legionaries Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the eel for further details in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. And what little internal code words have you cooked up?
Marcellianus?
Marcellinus. Baba. You again. Ask the eel, he said. So, that's to be the way of it, after all this. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald.
Octavia?
What do
you want with me? Ask the eel? So Lord Quintus has reached the decision. I knew he'd understand. Oh, crap. Hold that thought.
Oh dear.
Let's see how bad the queue is. Character is not properly logged out. Please wait to log in. Oh boy.
You are now logged out. Try again.
I have to wait for it to go through the whole queue thing.
Because you just disappeared from the world right after.
Yeah. If I hit cancel, it'd give me a 30-second bounce out, I believe. Yeah! Haven't had this. 31 in queue. There we go.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is the queues have actually been more stable recently.
And small.
Though I do occasionally get bounce outs for no reason. Not sure on that. Yes, I need to return my mentorship, but I can't do that right now. Are we still in the same
Yes.
instance? Okay, there you are. Let's try this again. What do you want with me? Here's some code words. I knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage as ruthless, merciless creatures, and to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I'm ready. In the name of Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. I don't like the sound of that. I think they're going to attack and take instead of just letting us give. Yeah, we have a few supplies, but what we're not hinting on is we have airships that can bring in more.
Maybe.
I mean, we don't want to play that hand if we don't have to.
And we'd still have to get it to the forward base. You saw how that went last time.
Yeah. Ulysses?
Have you done as instructed?
Their duty involves more than transporting supplies, don't they?
Yeah. Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There's one other matter. A place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me.
How short is short? Okay. Looks like we can cut through.
Oh, goody.
Cold bombs, just what we needed.
Probably cerulean bombs,
A form thereof, yeah.
considering that we have cerulean sprites.
Well, this and Blue Fog are kind of the main cerulean outposts.
Yeah.
Automated death machine.
Death machine.
How lovely.
Give me a moment, please.
This was your house, wasn't it?
Ulysses lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Yeah, we'll wait here.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
Julius, The gods do not save us. We save ourselves.
It's no use. Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do. It's so cold. Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight?
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
Been wondering where you've been hiding.
Aha.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alfino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
Oh dear.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop, both of you!
Thank you.
And that's the power of a Pajal.
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
we received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They
Really?
explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies. Every word.
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you.
He just dissolved the first.
Yeah.
I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Something rash is a little too late. Sadly, unfortunately, predictable. Too much pride.
Well, it is after 11.
Yeah, but I kind of want to finish this plot chain.
I was afraid of that.
I'm sorry.
You know, this doesn't end for another 7 levels.
Yeah, I know. They don't make it easy. Damn it, where's my tissues? I got a box right here waiting for me just in case. Because, well, actually, it's not just in case. You knew you're going to need it.
Oh, yeah. This is just the beginning.
Of course it is. Pippin?
Thank goodness for the 10th Legion decided to sue for peace when they did. We have been spared more senseless bloodshed, which is the last thing anyone, including the First, needs. From their perspective, though, the promise of reinforcements was their last hope, and now they have no choice but to capitulate to the invaders. But we will prove to them that all is not lost, and we yet stand a chance of casting out the Telafori.
Magni?
Even with their empire in ruins, the Garleans have not lost the will to fight. That strength shall serve them in days to come. There's yet life in this cold soil.
It was a grave error not to post sentries farther from the camp. Had we seen the Garleans sooner, we may have slain them long before the truth was called. Thank you, Sadu. They engaged us of their own free will and deserve to die a warrior's death. Even so, I have not forgotten why we are here, and I will stay my hand. For now.
She really has anger management issues.
She has a death wish and assumes everyone else has a death wish too. When the Imperials charged upon us, we were able to avoid any serious injuries on either side. In truth, most of the Garleans were in no condition to fight. Sunken eyes, hollow cheeks. It must have been a long time since they had a decent meal. I'm sure they will be much more amenable to conversation with food in their bellies.
Let's hope so.
I've just returned from guarding the airships, and now I've got to keep an eye on the captive Imperials. Maybe a bit of chit-chat will help lighten the mood. Thank you, Lise.
Come on, guys.
Julius?
We'll get you some warmth and some food.
You need it.
You will make no attempt to resist. That's kind of a given.
Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. I don't think that's happening.
Come on, let's find someplace warm to sit.
There's the benches over by the fire over this way.
Yeah. It'll have to do. All this Magitech and everything, they never designed a hot seat.
Not out here, apparently. Well, in any case, thank you all very much for joining us. It is this kitten's Betty Bye time.
Darn straight.
Tomorrow night, because the queues have been so nice recently, we're hoping to do the Christmas stuff on the buttons. Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will pick this up come Monday.
Something like that.
You all have a great evening. Have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, or whatever you decide to go ahead and celebrate this winter season. And get a good night's sleep. Stay well, be safe. We will see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, everyone have a great night.